Okay, so today was the first episode of the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yes, and it was awesome.
Yeah, we were really excited about it. Don't know many of the wrestlers, just I think four, maybe.
We actually did one thing that we didn't really say in the last episode, and I didn't mean to really interrupt you there, but
No.
we, instead of watching, because we both have to go to bed early because we're working men.
We do work.
We were watching the bracket thing during NXT.
Yeah.
So we did not have NXT, but we will have NXT on following episodes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because we're going to try to get everything WWE at least, and we want to talk about other stuff too. So, anyways, continuing on, we did 4 matches tonight.
Yes, there was 4 first round matches tonight.
Yep.
The first, I just want to say right off the bat, this is the most excited I've been watching wrestling for
Really?
a while. Like the matches were more fast paced. Some of the moves and the spots were awesome, just out of control.
And that's the first time I've even heard you say something like that, because I've been really excited for pay-per-views lately. Like I said on our first episode, Money in the Bank was like my favorite pay-per-view in a long time. That goes a long way because Money in the Bank ladder matches and those kind of like big spot matches are really something I like.
Yeah.
And then of course I have the bias with me just loving Dean Ambrose too, and all of that coming to fruition finally, and me waiting for years and years to finally see my guy pull through. Now that you say that, it makes a lot of sense, because you always tell me that you only watch one certain part of WCW.
Yeah, when WCW Nitro was on, it came on an hour before Raw. Mm-hmm. And so I watched Nitro for that first hour, and that was the time they put on the cruiserweights, usually.
Right.
They had their, what they would call their lower tier guys, but their cruiserweights were on the first part of the show. And I loved watching those guys. Jericho, Dean Malenko was one of my favorites. All those guys. And when they finally came over to WWF, it was awesome.
I think a lot of people that were in that day and age during the big Monday Night War, I want to say I was in like 3rd grade. And you could never get away with saying, "Oh, I just love all wrestling," like you can today. Because you could say, "I love WWE, I love TNA, I love New Japan, I love Lucha Underground."
Yeah, you can.
You
can be a fan of
Ring of Honor,
yeah,
right?
All the wrestlings, but then it was pick a side.
Pick a side. You either liked WCW, or you liked WWE, or you were one of like 2 people that I knew that was like, "That's all gay because ECW." Yeah. Literally, they use that word only to describe all other wrestling.
I only watch my wrestling on VHS tapes.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's besides the point. But yeah, cruiserweights have always been a favorite of mine, so this is really exciting for me.
Yep.
So the first match that we saw tonight was Grand Metalik versus Alejandro Saiz. I'm hoping I say these names correctly. There's a bunch that we're probably going to butcher.
Spoiler alert, we're going to butcher all of them.
But yeah, this Alejandro Saiz was one of the biggest guys in the
Okay,
tournament.
yeah, okay, yeah.
He was 6'1", and he had to cut 30 pounds to get to the 205.
He was the dude that weighed in like at 205
at 205 at the cutoff.
On the episode we were watching instead of NXT, they show the weigh-ins, and he's like, "Oh my god, I did it!"
So he's the biggest competitor in the Cruiserweight Classic. Moved pretty good for a big guy.
Yeah, I was much more impressed with Grand Metallica. What is it called?
Yeah,
Grand Metalik. I think.
Grand Metalik. He is a luchador.
Absolutely,
in all sense
in
of the
all
words.
terms. Yeah.
He was high flying, high energy. At one point, he did this pretty sweet springboard flip.
And I was admittedly
outside of the ring.
I was admittedly catching Pokemon during that spot. So I was like, "No, play it again." I missed it. Like I won't play any more Pokemon. And I put my phone down the rest of the time. And thankfully, like any other,
they showed a lot of replays.
Yes,
and I really like all the big spots had replays, which is something I wish they did on Raw and SmackDown
all the time. Yeah. He did that. It was really sweet. And then right after that, like no more than a minute later, he did like a jump outside the rope or outside of the ring, but he did it like his legs landed on the middle rope, and then his leg hit the top rope.
And he used the rope as a pivot.
Yeah,
To flip himself.
that was scary because I said, if you barely miss that, this is the rope right here. If your foot goes over and catches inside,
You're going head first into the apron,
or your leg gets caught, and I don't know. There's all kinds of disastrous things that can happen.
He made it look simple.
Yeah.
Landed it perfect. That was an awesome.
Yeah. He went over on the match. He was the winner.
Yes.
Do you see him going much further? And
I hope so. I don't know. They haven't decided his opponent for the next round, so I guess we'll have to see who he faces.
and I think these are something we could read spoilers on, but we made a gentleman's agreement that we're just going to watch it and enjoy the show as if it were live.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is the last one going to be live?
I don't know. I'd hope maybe they do the finals on NXT or something.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool, but I'm not for sure.
But and also Grand Metalik, is he the one that's the oldest? Out
No,
of all
that's
competitors?
got to be Tajiri.
Oh, duh. Yeah, I forgot about Tajiri. I thought you had said something about him being the oldest when we were watching it, but
No.
maybe I'm thinking of something else.
He said in that bracketology he was 27.
Oh, okay. Hard to tell because like any
Wearing a mask
Yeah.
all the time
Yep.
like a good luchador.
What was our next match, dude?
That was Ho Ho Loon versus Aria Davari.
Ho Ho. I thought for sure Ho Ho. I called him Santa through the whole match because his name was Ho Ho, and we had Davari's brother, which
Yeah,
I'm just gonna call him Davari too.
Yeah, he's Davari also. Davari's brother, who's going to be aforementioned after this, Davari, wrestled and almost had a ring presence exactly like his brother.
Absolutely.
Almost better. Like, he's stronger, I
Yeah.
think, bigger than his brother.
If it doesn't do justice yet, if you haven't seen him, when we watched the little thing they showed on the network when like each guy kind of came in and struck a pose, we thought that was Davari.
Yeah.
We both were like, "Oh, Davari's in this," and we didn't know. But this one, I would say that one was my least favorite of the four, which isn't saying much because they were all four really.
They were
good
all
matches.
great. There was many times the whole thing. I'm like, whoa,
Right,
Like,
every match. Jeez. But I was surprised that Davari didn't win this match.
Yeah,
Ho Ho actually won.
Ho Ho won. He's one of the first, if not the first, competitor for WWE from China.
Okay, that was him.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice
Yeah,
that. That was the guy that they had the big, like, here's our China guy.
Yeah.
I'm almost obligated now. It's not racism or anything, but when I'm speaking of any Oriental descent people, I'm just going to say Japan people or China people now. So, just forewarned.
But yeah, he's from China. But yeah, he won the match. That was pretty good match.
Yeah, it's pretty good. One thing we noticed during this match, they did again because they did it in the first match. Before the matches, they like make the guys shake hands.
Yeah, they're doing it like it's a legitimate shoot tournament.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty cool. They come out and they shake hands. The first match went fine. They shook hands, got in the corners.
And they even said, "Are you both like knowing the rules we talked about backstage, or do you have any questions?" Nope. Shake hands. Okay.
Yeah. So the first match they shook hands, no problem, nothing. The second match, Davari refused to shake Ho Ho's hand. Just stood there and stared him down.
Yep.
Established himself as a heel right away.
And then at the end of the matches, the winner and the loser both stand by the ref like it's a UFC fight or a regular wrestling match, and they hold up the arm instead of how it is now, where the heel is down on the ground and the good guy gets his hand raised.
Or the heel's beating up the good guy on the ground.
Right.
And okay, so the next match we have Clement Petro versus
French.
Yeah, he's a Frenchman. And here's the French people. Here's the name that I do know. It's Cedric Alexander.
How did you speak such a non-native tongue?
He's actually from America. USA.
Oh, That's why his name's Cedric Alexander.
Yeah, Cedric Alexander.
Very American. Perfect.
This match was probably not my least favorite, but the least exciting for me.
Oh yeah.
It was a really good match still. Like I said, all these matches were good. My favorite spot was the finish.
Oh my God, that finish was crazy. Is it Titus O'Neil who used to do something like that? Am I crazy to think that?
I think he just did like a regular backbreaker.
Oh, okay. He's just so big that it makes it look similar. He took the dude. He took him like, wasn't it a suplex?
Yeah, it was
or
just a regular like suplex, and held him up there, and then dropped him into a backbreaker. Put his knees up into his back.
Gross. It looked like someone was hurt.
Yeah, it was excellent maneuver.
And then our main event for the night was Kota Ibushi. I think that's the first name we've gotten perfectly right, because it's Kota Ibushi for sure. That guy, from the time they came out and flashed their poses, I'm like, that guy's going to win, because he's going to win. I said he's...
Well, he had the biggest pop.
Yep, that's why I said he's going to win.
Yeah. But everyone knows who he is. I didn't know who he was, and I knew who he was, I guess. You know, like...
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. He fought Sean Maluda, who is, like all other Samoans, supposedly, that wrestle, seem to be the cousin of The Rock and Roman Reigns. And
yeah, the bloodline of the Anoa family. Again,
I'm not trying to be, like, racist or anything like that, but, like, it kind of is annoying that everyone who's Samoan, like... rides off the coattail of somebody else, like we were talking about before.
Even Sean's ring attire was just carbon copy of the Wild Samoans.
Yeah.
From way back when. So, but besides his appearance and his character being, you know, from this long bloodline, excellent wrestler.
He was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was what won me over, because at first when we started talking about it, we were both sitting there talking smack on him, saying like, oh my God, he's just like every other Samoan guy you've ever seen. And then he starts performing, and I don't know how much of it was just Kota Ibushi making him look good, but Sean was an excellent wrestler too. I mean, he was all these different spots in that match.
Mm-hmm. Excellent super kick, just like...
Oh my God.
Just like the rest of the Samoans. Usos have good super kicks.
That super kick... And again, going back to Kota sold every hit he took perfectly. But that super kick, watch that thing back again, guys. I mean, if you're not planning on watching it, just at least watch the last 3 minutes of the match. He gets a super kick, and he is like, oh, he's knocked out. You know, he legitimately took that. But
you owe it to yourself to watch the entire thing.
Absolutely.
I mean, even just at the very least the whole last match.
Absolutely.
And Kota's offense.
Oh my God, yeah. Kota had like who else does something like that? Like Dusty Rhodes, kind of like
Dusty Rhodes, Shane O'Mac.
Yeah, they do the little like
quick jabs.
But it was like he's like doing this ninja stuff, and it was just, I don't know, it was insane. It was so fast. I was like, oh my God. What else did we have to talk about?
There's the Maluda. Sean Maluda did a super codebreaker from the top rope.
Oh my God, yeah, that was insane too.
They were up there, and it looked like one of them was going to do a superplex, right?
Yes.
From the top rope, and got pushed off, and then ended up jumping back up and doing the codebreaker from the top rope.
And of course, Kota Ibushi sold it
like he had died. Like he had died.
Right. Well, I was going to say... He sold it like The Rock used to sell the stunner.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Did the whole flip.
Like threw himself back. And then we had just a fantastic finish. That move was sick. It was they called it the last ride because really was
last ride powerbomb.
There's the extension with the last ride which kind of separates it from other power bombs, but he did it. And he jumped. Both men's feet were off of the ground.
They were off of the ground. You could see the audience behind him from underneath him during the move.
And boom, splat. 1, 2, 3. Meet us back on part 3. Speaking of 3.